Hey y'all, this is gonna be real quick. So if y'all wanna come on in, come on in. If y'all wanna come on in, come on in. Definitely come on in. Cause we love it when you come on in, but if not, you'll catch the replay and you can see for yourself on the replay. Definitely come on through, come on through. Come on in the Lord's house. Ishala Kandala. I said, come on. Hey, Lawrence. In the Lord's house. Ishala Kandala. Oh, y'all, I ain't playing with y'all today. I ain't playing with y'all today. But come on up. I'm going to give y'all an update on the hubby. I see it's 8 people in here, but only Lawrence said hello. So, hey, y'all in the bushes. I see y'all in the bushes, and I appreciate the bush people. I do. Hey, Terry. Trimell is doing good. I'm about to give y'all an update on Trimell. He's in better spirits today. He got some news he didn't want to hear, but he said I was able to comfort him and make it smoother for him and things of that nature. So, you know, oh my God, my arm looked like somebody beat me up. Because the way they tape my arm for dialysis and I take this blood thinner, oh my God, my arm is bruised up like somebody just beat me up. Hey, Robert Tadishi. Yes, he is doing better today. He can breathe, thank God. Because yesterday was really bad. And Trimell, when he got out of the hospital, he was okay. A couple of days later, he wasn't able to breathe the way properly. I told him, let's go back to the emergency room. He didn't want to go back. I didn't get mad and force him because I was, me. I done been in the hospital to damn near at least twice to once a month since 2020. So y'all know how that go. Hey Ruth. Hey everybody on Facebook and everybody on YouTube. Thank y'all for coming through. I I didn't force him to go back to I should have probably tried to force him to go back to the emergency room, but I didn't because I know how that is. And I know Tramell really doesn't want to be in the hospital. So I didn't force it. And it was like every other day he was okay, which I thought was odd that you go from not being able to breathe today to tomorrow you can breathe to the next day you can't breathe. So it was like an ongoing thing. And yesterday, hey Fifi, thank you. Hey Lady Prophetess, Deborah Jones, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know what? I am good. Last night, I did not leave the emergency room till like 1:30 because I was really trying to stay till they put him in the room. But he ended up calling me early this morning and telling me they didn't even put him into a room till like 4:30 this morning. But I left at like 1:30 because I was falling asleep in there, and it was really cold it was really cold in that emergency room. So hey, Monica. So I left at like 1:30 in the morning, and I came home and I got in the bed and I was up till maybe like 2:30 because of course it was cold outside. So of course, me being sleepy, once I hit outside, I was like, "Woo!" I woke right up. So I just came home and played on my phone for a little while, and I was like, "Let me go to sleep." And then nurses started calling me. I want to say at like 4 something in the morning, but I was asleep, and I sleep hard, so I was like knocked out. And then they called me again at like 5 something, and I heard the phone. I was dreaming. My phone was ringing. Actually, I was dreaming. My mother was calling me. And I'm like, wait a minute, is my phone really ringing? Because in the dream, I'm like, how can my mother be calling me? She's passed away. But then I realized the phone was really ringing. So I picked it up and it was the nurse. And she was like, "Can you tell me where you put Trimell's phone in the bag?" I said, "Sure." So I told her where the phone was. And then when he didn't call, I was waiting to go before I went back to sleep because I said he's gonna call me. But he didn't call me. So I went back to sleep. And maybe an hour later he calls me and he was like, "Oh, I couldn't find my phone." And that's when he told me they didn't put him in the room till like 4:30 in the morning. And he was just making sure I was okay, and he wanted me to know that he was okay. So, okay, Cole. So, that was that. And then um he called me back around 9 something. But I had like kind of was waking up, and we talked for a little while, and I told him I wanted to come because this hospital does like 2 visiting hours from 11 to 2 and then 4 to 7. So I wanted to get up there because he was telling me what they was telling him. So I wanted to get up there so I could hear it for myself because they started talking about dialysis and all this other stuff. And I know Trimell would get overwhelmed with it. So I wanted to be there because I wanted to hear what was being said. And because y'all know I've been doing it since 2016. So I know, and he knows that I know all the ins and outs of it. I've done it where you go in the center, I've done it being home on my own. So he knows I know the ins and outs. So when he was telling me on the phone, I was telling him how, what the procedure is, where I was when I was like him in that stage where they were telling me that I need to think about it, and how long pills kept me from having to be on it. Like I was told in April, and by August the pill stopped working, so I had no other choice at that point but to do dialysis. So, I explained to him that if you're going to do that route, because right now it's just up in the air, that there is no mistakes. It's no, I take my pills Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I forget. Thursday, Friday, I take them. Saturday, I forget. I said, there's no forgetting. I said, because then that one forgetting, you're going to mess yourself up. So, he found comfort in what I was telling him because they actually came in the room and told him verbatim what I said. So that like brought him a lot of comfort that exactly what I said. They explained procedures, exactly what I said, and it was basically what I said. So hey Sonia. So he was okay with everything once I had spoke to him, and then a doctor came in and told him verbatim what I said. And then I got there at like 11:30 and brought him what he wanted. He just wanted some tea. Hey, best friend. Emma Peel is doing great. Emma Peel is doing great. And we love you too. You know that. And so by the time I got there, the nephrologist came in and he helped me when I was in the hospital because he works with um actual nephrologist. And he walked in, he said, "Hey Trimell, hey Joseph." I said, "That's a damn shame that you know both of us by first name." And he started laughing. But he's a really nice guy. And Trimell actually likes him. Trimell was like, "I trust him. I really like him." I said, "Well, then don't go to my nephrologist. Go to him." I said, "He works out of that office." I said, "Go to him since you like him and you have you build a rapport with him." The one thing that I am in agreement with when it comes to doctors, if you find a doctor that you like, that you trust, and that you find comfort in, that's the doctor you should be going to. Not a doctor just because somebody told you, "Oh, they're a great doctor." You might not have that comfort zone with that doctor as the other person. So, like I told him, I said, "Trimell, make an appointment with him. He works out of that office. And that way, since you like him and you trust him," I said, "don't go to my doctor." I said, I like my doctor because I can tell him, "Look, this is what's wrong with me. This is what I need." And he does whatever I say. And because he knows I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to just tell him something and he says, "Oh, okay, Joseph, whatever." He knows that, okay, Joseph knows his body. Joseph knows what's going on. Like when I went to dialysis Friday, I was like, "Listen, are y'all giving me Mercera because my blood level is really low? I can barely walk up a flight of stairs. I can barely take 2 steps to my car without being winded. I need the Mercera." "Oh, well, you guys had called Dr. Haddad and tell him I want Mercera today." And they came back and said, Joseph, he agreed with you because your blood level is really low, so we're giving it to you today. That's all I need to know. Because he knows that I know my body. And, I told Trimell, I said, God forbid, if you do end up on dialysis, you need to know your body like I know my body. And you need, because I was told by a friend of mine that had been on dialysis for like 12 years, because that's who helped me. And he was like, listen, don't be like other people and just go in there and hold out your arm and let them stick you. You need to watch them hook up the machine. You need to know what they're giving you. You need to know what they're doing. Because if you don't, they'll do whatever they want. And that's all he had to tell me. I can go in any dialysis center. I can hook up the whole machine and tell you what you need, what you don't need, if your blood clot, what you need to put in the machine for that, what you need. Because I learned because I wasn't playing. Hey, Stephanie. And hey, Lala. You can't just go through something like that and just. I've seen plenty of people just go in there, hold out their arm, get stuck, and go to sleep for the 4 hours and wake up and they be done. They don't question nothing. They don't ask questions about nothing. They just allow these people to do whatever they want. I'm not that person. That's how I started doing home dialysis because they wouldn't listen to me. And I'm telling them that they don't know my dialysis needs. I was just in the hospital and the hospital transferred me to them because I was going so far and I was tired of driving 45 minutes every other day to get dialysis. I wanted something closer to my house. They wouldn't listen to me. I had meetings with managers, I had meetings with the staff, everything, and they just would not listen to me. So I said, okay, you don't want to listen to me? I'll do it at home. And that's how I started doing it at home. I'd never wanted to do it at home, to be honest with you, but I felt if doing it at home is going to get me the result that I need, then that's what I'm going to do because I'm not going to continue to let them do whatever they want. And every other day, my blood level is low. But I'm telling you, you need to put heparin in it to stop it from clotting and you telling me no, 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 but every day you throwing away my blood because they can't give you back clotted blood. But every day that you give me dialysis, every other day you throwing my blood away because it's done clotted in a machine. That don't make no sense. That just shows how stupid you are, and you don't want to listen to me because I don't have a degree. But you dummies are clotting my blood every day. Hey, in Q's world. So Trimell seen all of that. Trimell knows that I know. So he knows that I'm not going to steer him wrong in anything. But like I told him, at the end of the day, the decision is his. So of course, he was like, "Oh, Papa, I wanna go where you go. Can we go at the same time?" And I'm like, Trimell, you jump in the bar. I said all they said was you need to make a decision on what type of dialysis you want to do, and after you make that decision, then you need to, if you want to do hemo, they have to do your arm. I said, because it takes about 3 months for that to heal. And right now, you don't need dialysis, but they know eventually it's coming to that. How soon, we don't know. But they want you to be prepared just in case. They know it's not going to be a year. They know it's just a couple of months. And like I said, when I was at the stage where you are, I was good from April to August. I say, but in April, I should have let them do my arm because by come August, I wouldn't have had to have this port in my chest. I was like, so I opted out of letting them do that. I just was like, no, God is going to fix it. I'm going to be okay. And unfortunately, God didn't fix it and I wasn't okay. So I had to have the port and my arm done at the same time. And, it was what it was. So, I explained to him why they want him to get his arm done now. I was like, it's going to be your right arm because Trimell is a lefty. I said, it's going to be your less dominant arm. And, I showed him, I said, normally it's in your forearm. I said, and when I went under anesthesia, the intent was to put it in my forearm. I said, I woke up and my whole upper arm looked like somebody beat the hell out of me. And I'm like, what the hell happened here? And they was like, oh, well, Joseph, your veins were too small in your forearm. So we had to do up in my bicep area. Because what they do is they take a main artery and connect it to a vein so that it'll get the vein and the artery will combine and it'll get really big so that it can handle the needles. because dialysis needles are huge. So basically, that's what it does, and it takes about 3 months to heal for the vein to grow and the artery to connect, and everything can start flowing. So that way, when it's time for dialysis, they can stick you, and a small vein with those big needles will just collapse the vein. And oh, Stephanie, I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, I mean, dialysis. Hey, Trisha, dialysis in the center is a lot, and that's what they was explaining to him today. But he saw me do home dialysis, so he knows the process. He went through the training, and he's just like, he said, Joseph, I just don't know. He's like, babe, I don't know if I want to go through that. I said, Trimell, you're not bound to either or. I said, you see, I started out going to the center and then I switched to home. I said, if you want to start like that, then that's what you do. If you want to start with the home one, let them put the port in your stomach. And, now I have to get the port out of my stomach because I decided to go back to doing it in the center because doing it at home wasn't really working the way it was in the beginning because I've been doing it for like 3 years, I want to say. And it just, for me, it wasn't adding up in my head. If I can't put the fluid in me after you did surgery, the hernia surgery, then in my mind, I'm like, well, if the fluid is going to mess up the hernia surgery, what is it going to do after the fact? So, and I started going, I had to do the hemodialysis. We're going into the center for 2 weeks, and I started looking better. My skin started looking brighter. And even Trimell was like, do you think you might want to go back to doing it in the center? I said, no, I want to do it at home. And then I said, why did you ask me that? Because I saw a difference in myself. And he was like, because you look different. You look better. You know, you look, better. You look brighter. You look more healthy than you were when you was doing it at home. So I agreed with it. And I said, well, you know what? And then even the lady that runs the home dialysis, she came and saw me and she was like, Joseph, you look amazing. You look great. And I was like, thanks. And I could see she kind of wanted to tell me that I should keep doing the hemodialysis, but she didn't want to say it. And I could see, how you can tell somebody wants to say something to you, but they won't. And I knew that's what she wanted to say. So that weekend, I just made a decision. And I said, Lord, I need to know what I should do. I was like, because I know what I'm looking like. I know what people are saying. And, you know, I just want to know what I should do. And Monday I told them, I said, well, I want to do this for good. I want to keep coming to the center. I look better. I feel better. And hey, Tyrone and Famous, I look better. I feel better. Hey, Reese Cup. And, you know, it was what it was. So I made that decision. And, Trimell kind of wants to make the same decision right now. So I told him, I said, well, when he comes tomorrow, just let him know that you want to get your arm done. And it's still no big deal. You can still get your arm done and change your mind and tell them you want the catheter put in. And that way you have both. So God forbid something happens to one, you still have the other to fall back on. Because that's what happened to me. When I was in the hospital, they was about to put a catheter in me. I said, what are you putting a catheter in me for? I have a whole fistula in my arm. And they was like, you do? I said, yeah, in my left arm. And they was like, well, when was the last time you used it? I said, well, probably like a year ago or 2 years ago, because I ended up in the hospital. I said, I know they used it because when I woke up out of my little 3 day slumber, I said, I saw my arm was taped up. I was like, so I know they used it. I was like, they didn't use the catheter in my stomach. They used my fistula. I was like, so they was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to send you down to dialysis tomorrow just to test it and make sure it works. I said, well, you can do that, but it works. And I laid in that bed. I said, Lord Jesus, please let this thing work. I don't want no catheters in me no more. I don't want none of that in me. Please let my arm work. And they took me to dialysis and it worked perfectly fine. So it's been working, thank God, since then. So thank all of y'all for coming in. I appreciate it. Me and Tramell appreciate all the love you guys show us. We really, really do. And it means a lot to Trimell. So when he sees this video and sees all you guys' comments, he's probably gonna cry because he's a big crybaby. He tells y'all I'm a baby, but he's a big, big, big crybaby. Oh Lord, last night he was in the emergency room just a crying and a crying, and the nurse was like, "Why are you crying?" He was like, "Because I don't want to be here. I want to go home with my husband. I don't want to be here." Oh, Tramell is such a crybaby. And then when he couldn't find his phone, he was crying. He was like, "I can't call my husband. He's gonna be so mad if somebody stole my phone." And oh God, he's a big old crybaby. So Trimell loves seeing y'all comments. Y'all really lift him up. He's probably gonna cry because I know he's asleep now. Cause I just left him at like 2 o'clock. So I left him. I came home. I was like, oh God, because as I was approaching, I was like, oh, I should have brought myself something to eat because I was hungry. And I was like, oh well, I'm here now. So, and then they was having, because it's Nurses Week, so they was having a barbecue for the nurses. So I'm walking up on the hospital and I'm smelling all this barbecue, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, how could I get in this line, child, and pretend like I'm a nurse and get some of this good old barbecue they was barbecuing? And I just, because when I was leaving, he was falling asleep, and I was like, give me kisses, and he gave me a kiss. He was like, please go home and get something to eat, Papa. I said, I'm gonna get something to eat. I said, stop worrying about me. Worry about yourself. I'm good. So he fell asleep because he said he wasn't able to sleep because after he had called me this morning, he was going to try to go to sleep, but then his phone kept ringing because I guess everybody that was seeing the video that had his number that he made last night was calling to make sure he was okay. So he didn't really get no rest last night. So he is sleeping now. He is good. Thank you, Promises Manifested. We appreciate all the prayers, all the love. Let me tell y'all, it's just sometimes it's overwhelming. I know I was overwhelmed when I was in the hospital, and you guys was just sending me all the love and the prayers, and it's a good feeling because you like we feel good because you guys have never met us personally, but you guys are so invested in us that it just is a really good feeling. You guys will never know. And like I said, it means a lot to both of us. And for him, it means a whole lot because y'all know I'll be out. For whatever reason, God feel fit, I'm always in the hospital. So, I mean, this time it's like, I look at him and go, what would you tell me? When he start crying or he start with the, I don't want to be, I said, what would you tell me? I said, all the advice you gave me all those many a times, it's your turn now. Use your same advice on yourself. He said, I know, but I don't want to be. I said, you think I wanted to be in the hospital? You think I wanted to be away from you? You think I wanted to stay all those times? I said, no. I said, but what did you tell me? Papa, please stay here for me until you get better. I don't want nothing to happen to you. I said, so I'm going to tell you the same thing. Stay here till you get better because I don't want nothing to happen to you. But Tramell's, see, my mind is I'm going to stay in the hospital and get better. Tramell's mind is, the first words if something happened to me and I go into cardiac arrest, just know that I love you. I said, why do you have to think on those lines of dying in the hospital, child? You're not going to die. We have to cover each other. I'm recovering from both pneumonia and influenza. Oh, Promises, I hope you get better. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. We praying for you too, for your complete healing. Yeah, but Tramell's lungs are filling up with fluid because even when they gave him the water pill, the way they prescribed it, I told him, I said, that's wrong. I said, you can't take just one of those pills a day. You got to take at least three. And he was like, well, Papa, this is what the prescription says on the bottle. I was like, okay. And that's why his lungs filled back up because it wasn't enough. And even the doctor last night, when he saw the prescription they gave him, he was like, who gave him this? This ain't enough. He needs at least 3 pills a day. I said, see, I told you. I said, when it comes to this, I know what I'm talking about. So that's why his lung, it wasn't nothing that he did wrong. He was actually doing what they told him to do. And because the prescription for the water pill was wrong, his lungs was filling up because the one pill wasn't draining him like three would have. Three would keep him clear. One was just clearing it a little bit, but he was able to fill back up with fluid. So that's why he ended up back in the hospital because the prescription was wrong. Right in Q's world, it's easier to sit there and tell me to stay in the hospital, child. But when it's his turn, he don't want to take his own advice. He don't want to take his own advice that he was giving me of stay in the hospital. It's gonna be okay. I miss you, but you got to be here because they got to fix you, and blah 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 blah. It's all part of God's plan. That's what he would always tell me. Now that it's his turn, he don't know, you know. Then he got nervous because he was like, they keep telling me I have a cardiac problem. I was like, Trimell, you don't have a cardiac problem. I said, the only reason why you have a cardiac problem is because the fluid, when it gets in your lungs, is getting in your heart, which is causing your heart not to pump the proper way. I said, once we get all of that under control, your heart will be fine. He was like, Papa, I don't know because I said, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. And the doctor came in and told him exactly what I said. You don't have a heart problem. The only reason why you have a heart problem is because the fluid is getting into your heart, causing it to pump slower. So, you know, that brought him relief. So right now, honestly, y'all, Trimell is still in he's in good spirits. He's fine with what they're telling him. He's okay with everything they're telling him. He still needs your prayers, of course, but he's good with everything. Hey Brian. Brian, if he could stop crying, when I tell you, if it thank you promises, when I tell you if he could stop crying, because Trimell is a big baby. And I get it. He just want to be here with me as long, like even today, before I left, I said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Because I know you're going to sleep." I said, "And it's only like 3 more minutes before visiting hours is over, so let me just go now before the man come and kick me out." He said, "I'm much better now that I saw you." I said, boy, that's all you want is to be with me all day, every day, and you'll be fine. And like last night when they took him in emergency, the guy was like, wait a minute, I don't know if you could come back here. And then I was going to go off because I was going to be like, look, y'all gave him 3 COVID tests like 2 weeks ago. We ain't been nowhere for him to get COVID, so he fine. But then he took Trimell back and he told me, he said, come on back, you're fine. You can come back here. They still gave him a COVID test, but of course, he don't have COVID. He's fine. But because the first time I dealt with it, because we really didn't know if he had COVID or not. This time I know he didn't have COVID. It's only been a week since he been out the hospital at most. So I know he didn't have COVID. I know where we went and what have you. And oh, Stephanie, I definitely know that. Definitely. And you know, he knows it too. Like I said, Trimell is just a big baby. If he had his way, honey, he would have me staying in the hospital with him the whole time he was there. But he know that can't happen. So, because he was like, I know you're not coming back at 4 o'clock because you got to go to. Hey Tracy, you know we love you too. Because he knows, you know, that's why I went earlier. Because I got to get myself together to go to dialysis tomorrow. They changed my time, which I was used to going first thing in the morning, but that got real tired real quick. So when they told me that, they couldn't still accommodate me at that time because I was only supposed to be there for 2 weeks, I was like, okay, that's good. They said, well, we have a person that's in the hospital, but when they come back, then we're going to have to change your time to second shift. I said, okay. And then Sunday, we went out for Mother's Day because we went to my cousin's house and we stayed there late and we didn't get home till 10:30. And I was like, oh, please call me in the morning and tell me to come second shift. They didn't. They waited till I was done yesterday to tell me, oh, Mr. McCrae, from now on, we're going to start doing second shift. I was like, okay, that's fine. Because I was tired of waking up at 4:15 in the morning, child. 4:15 come real quick, honey. It come quicker than Now I gotta get up at what, 9 o'clock? Four come way quicker than nine. Four come way quicker than nine. So right, Trisha. I know some people that caught Rona while they were in the hospital too. Thank you, Monica. We okay, Tracy. His breathing is fine. That cough that he had when y'all heard us on live when he was coughing, that was because his lungs was filling up with fluid, and the coughing was because his body was trying to get to expel the fluid out of his lungs. So that's why he had that horrible, horrible cough. And now the cough is like almost non-existent because he might have coughed 2 times while I was with him today. So, I made him an appointment with the nephrologist he likes. So he has that appointment. So I told him when he comes tomorrow, because I won't be there tomorrow morning because my new dialysis time is 10:15, 10:15, 10:30, something like that. So I won't be able to be there in the morning like I was today when the nephrologist came. So I said, tell him, just let him know you made an appointment with him and he's coming back tomorrow to see what decision you made. I said, tell him what decision you made and keep it there. And don't let him try to talk you into anything else. Your first decision, I said, pray about it. And your first decision is what it is. It just is what it is. Terry, they said that he is going to. Oh, Brian, I had no choice but to do it because I had to be there by like 5:15, 5:30. Because, when you're on dialysis, you can't be late because if you late, then you hold up the chair for the person after you. But, Terry, they actually told him they want to let him go tomorrow because his breathing is perfect. His breathing is fine. He's getting enough oxygen. The fluid out of is out of his lungs because they actually gave him a IV diuretic and a pill. So they gave him a pill and one through the IV. So he peeing like a racehorse. He is peeing like a racehorse. So it got all the fluid out of his lungs. So they want to let him go home tomorrow. So he's like, well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed, but you know how that goes. I said, yeah, I know how that goes. I was like, but hopefully you'll come home tomorrow. So if he comes home tomorrow, I guess I'll be going to get him when I come from dialysis or a little bit after because I'll probably be done by 2:15, 2:30. And you know how hospitals do, honey. They try to keep you there till 3 o'clock so they could bill for the whole day. So hopefully y'all pray that he can come home tomorrow because he was ready to come home today. I was like, Trimell, you can't come home today. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. I'm just glad that he's in good spirits and you know, he's using me as a guide really because he sees that I'm okay and my will to live is what it is. I don't never complain about, oh God, I'm dying or nothing like that. It's just, okay, what do I have to do to live my life, and live a happy, healthy life and keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. Thank you, Tracy. Just keep it moving. Thank you, Terry. You just got to keep it moving. And, when you find something else out, this is what it is. And let me make it work for me. Because that's all you can do. You can't reverse it. You can't go in the store and say, "Could I buy a new set of kidneys, please?" And you can't do that. You can buy some kidney beans, but all you can do with them is cook them and eat them, and some rice with some, or some, put cook them and put some neck bones and what have you in them, and make them taste real good. So his diet has to change, which he's like, babe, I don't know. They keep saying my diet, my diet. I said, I know what the diet is. You ain't got to tell me. I said, now you got two diets. You got a diabetic diet and a kidney and a dialysis diet. I was like, so we just got to change a lot of things. I don't have a problem with chat. First of all, I should be eating that way anyway, and I don't. So me doing it to help him is not going to be an issue at all because I should be doing it anyway, but I don't. So yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. Enjoy your day at work, and thank you so much for stopping through. We appreciate you, and we are praying for you too. Hey, Uncle Fred. Well, they found the problem, and they fixing the problem. Well, more or less, they already fixed the problem, but they found the problem and they fixed the problem. So that's why, they told him, like I said, that he could probably come home tomorrow. Um, it just depends on what's what. So, and I think it just depends on. Thank you, Lala. I think it depends on what decision he makes as far as being on dialysis. Hey, Dwayne, because I know the nephrologist said if he decides home dialysis, he wants to send him home with the port in his stomach, so that'll mean he'll have to stay. If it's hemodialysis, because he didn't know that Trimell was going to end up using him as his doctor. He thought Trimell was going to use my doctor because Trimell was familiar with my doctor and had seen my doctor before. But now that when Trimell tells him he made an appointment with him, he may just make him, tell him to stay and let them do his arm. So I don't know as far as that goes. I know today he said if Trimell decides to do home dialysis, that he wanted them to put the port in before he left. Um, about his arm, I don't know because they can do that as an outpatient. You don't have to be in a hospital for that. So, I don't know what that will entail because he don't really want Trimell to do hemodialysis. Um, but they didn't want me to do it either. They didn't want me to do it either. They wanted me to do home, but I didn't want to do home at first. So, you know, and it's up to the patient what they want. It's not up to what the doctors want you to do. It's up to you what you want to do. So, yeah, that's the update on my husband. He is in good spirits now. He stopped crying for a moment, for the time being. And, like I said, I know he's sleeping now because he was sleeping when I left, which was like an hour ago. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody that's asking about me, I'm fine. I just need them to get my blood level up and I'll be perfect. Once they get it went up. I know it went up because I'm not as exhausted as I was last week. So I know it went up some, but I needed to go up a lot more. I know that because once it goes up to a certain level, I know because I'm like I can walk upstairs and without being exhausted. I could do things without being exhausted. Like I just ran a marathon, and all I did was walk up a flight of stairs. So I just, I just need them to get my blood level high. Like Trimell was getting iron infusion because his blood level is low as well. They gave him an iron infusion while I was there. Maybe I need one. Um, my doctor came and saw me in dialysis last week and said if my blood level don't come up, then I'm gonna have to get a blood transfusion. Or if I feel too exhausted or I feel my heart racing, that I need to go to emergency room and get a blood transfusion. So, you know, I listen because I know what's what. Because they can't put me on a dialysis machine if it's too low. Anyway, so far so good. I'm feeling better. I'm not as exhausted as I was a couple of last week, I should say. I'm not as exhausted. But once they get my blood level to a decent level, because like a man's level should be 13 18 and mine is only 7. So before they got it up, because it was 9 or 10 before it dropped. And see, when I'm used to it being like low, like 7 or 8, I'm okay because my body gets used to it. So I don't feel as exhausted. But because it was 9.5, 10, and it dropped to 7, it was like, whoa. It was like really bad, meaning that like I could tell, and I was exhausted, and I was just like struggling to get up a flight of stairs and struggling to get out of the car and walk to the stairs. So now I don't have that struggle. I can get out of the car, come to the stairs, come up the stairs, and I have to rest because we got a lot of stairs in this damn house. The stairs to come to the door. And once you get in the door, stairs to come there. And then to get upstairs is 2 flights of stairs. So I'll come up the outside stairs and then the inside stairs, and then I'll sit down and rest for a minute. And then I'll come upstairs to my room. But I had to learn you gotta rest. You can't just be walking like you're 25 and ain't nothing wrong with you. You gotta rest for a minute. So that's what I do. Have you tried organic beet? You know what, Promises? I keep reading about beet juice, and I swear I keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna blend me some beets up," and I never do. I need to try. You know what? Can you get it on Amazon, or tell me where I could get some organic beet juice? Because I know beet juice is supposed to help with your blood levels, and I keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna blend me up some beet juice," and I never do. But trust me, if I can just buy it somewhere, I will drink it. I know, Tracy, it definitely is. It definitely is an adjustment. But your promises, if you can tell me where I can get that from, that would be amazing. Cause I know that beets are supposed to help your blood, especially your red blood cells. Cause that's what it is. And actually right now both of us can use that. Cause me saying, "Oh, I'm gonna blend me up some beet juice. I'm gonna blend it, child." I've been blending beet juice for the last 5 years and ain't blended not one piece of beet juice. Yes. Yeah. Oh, really, Lala? Okay, I'm gonna look it up on Amazon. Cause if I could just order it from Amazon, that would be amazing. Cause I will order it and I will be in here drinking beet juice. Not a lot, cause I'm sure there's something in the beet that I ain't supposed to have being on dialysis. Oh, Walmart sells it too? Brian, that's great. Okay, Promises. I'm gonna look for it on Amazon. I'm definitely gonna look for, or if you can, if you don't mind, if it's not too much, can you just go on Amazon and then like screenshot it, or if you could send it to my email address, which is TheMcRaeKingz@gmail.com, Kings with a Z at the end. So I know the exact one that I should be buying. But other than that, I can just, if that's too much, I can just go on Amazon and look for a pure form of it myself. But that would be amazing. Right. Well, for Trimell, he's doing this diabetic. I'm not diabetic. You said you hate it, but it works. Hey, most things that's good for you, it don't taste good. Brian, that's what Trimell actually puts cinnamon when he drinks his coffee. He puts cinnamon in his coffee. Um, because his cinnamon for his diabetes. And you know what? That's funny. Because he told me today, he said, "I just don't want people babying me. If when I'm on dialysis, I don't want people babying me." I said, "Trimell, let me tell you something." I said, "I don't know what it is about dialysis." I said, "But most people that's gonna baby you," I said, "it's gonna be about your diabetes." I said, "Because for whatever reason, they always want to give you information about being diabetic." I said, "You're used to that." And he started laughing. He said, "Why?" I said, "Tramel, I have no idea." I said, "People hear the word dialysis and it must just click diabetes." I said, and they start giving you all this information about diabetes. And I'm like, but I'm not diabetic. I'm on dialysis. The two don't go hand in hand. You should be telling me not to eat salt and stay away from too much vitamin A and things like that. I said, but they don't. I said, I trust me. I said, you're gonna see if you tell people you're on dialysis, they thank you, Lala. I just got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I said, if you tell people you on dialysis, they're gonna start giving you information about diabetes. I said, and you're used to that because you're already diabetic. I said, so you ain't got to worry about that. I said, the most they should. I said, what they should be telling you is don't your salt intake gotta be low. You can't eat a lot of salty foods. You can't eat a lot of processed foods. Stay away from cheese. Stay away from dairy products. Those are the things that you tell a person on dialysis. I said, but most of the time they're gonna tell you, stay away from sugar. Don't eat cake. Don't do this. Don't do that. I was like, and all the information they're giving you is about diabetics, and you like, but I could eat cake and I could drink juice and I could, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and things like that. I said, because I'm not diabetic. So it's just funny to me that when people hear dialysis, I don't know, it just clicks in their head diabetes and they start giving you information about diabetes. But I'm definitely going to um, order that. Hey, Betty, I'm definitely going to go to Amazon and order some of that beet juice and what have you. Trisha, see, you said sodas. That's my downfall with being on dialysis because my phosphates are high and it's chocolate and waffles and Coke and Pepsi. I don't like no other soda other than Coke and Pepsi. Like maybe a pineapple soda or a grape soda, but Pepsi and Coke is my thing. And like, well, you gotta drink Sprite and Sierra Mist. I'm like, ew, I don't want Sprite and Sierra Mist. I want a Coke or a Pepsi. So summertime is coming. So now I'm good because it's lemonade all over the place. So I'm a lemonade fiend. So I can get away from the soda thing. Um, the cheese thing in the beginning was hard for me because I am a cheese fiend. Child, I love cheese in any way, form, fashion. Cheese is my thing. I can sit and cut me a block of cheese and have me some grapes and some wine and be chilling. That was my thing before I got on dialysis. Now my cheese intake has really been I've been over the years. I've gotten much better. In the beginning, I thought I was going to die, but as the years went by, macaroni and cheese is a treat for me now. It's not something that I do all the time like before. And pizza is a treat for me now. It's not something I do all the time. And when I do it, I take my little pills that takes care of what the damage the cheese is doing. So, I do what I'm supposed to do. I know best friend, but I can't help myself. I do not like Sprite, 7 Up, and Sierra Mist. It's just not my thing. Give me a Pepsi or a Coke and I'm happy. Oh, the email address is TheMcRaeKingz at gmail.com. And it's Kingz with a Z. MCR at, you know what? I can't because I don't know how to type it while I'm on this live. Hold on. Post a comment. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Is it gonna let me type it? It won't let me. It won't. Oh, there you go. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I did not know how to do this, but I'm glad you asked because now I know. There you go. That's the email address right there. Promises. That's the email address right there. Oh, dark sodas is my thing. But lately I've been drinking pineapple Fanta. Lately I've been drinking pineapple Fanta. I don't like Seltzer Brian. Trimell drinks it, but I just don't. What I do like, and I can't drink those either because allegedly they have a lot of phosphates, is I like the flavored waters. You know, the sparkling waters and stuff like that. But from what I hear, they like the ice waters. They call ice waters. I love those. Because they're not soda. I guess, sparkling waters, if you want to call them. And I like the flavors of them. But they tell me that they have a lot of phosphates in them as well. So I just really try to stay away from soda at all. I drink water because that's like safe. Child, I could drink a case of water, especially with going back to the dialysis center. Like home dialysis makes you feel like your normal self. So when I got on home dialysis, child, I gained so much weight because I was eating and I was drinking. Like my water desire went away and all of that. But when I'm on hemo, for whatever reason, because I think they drain the water out of my body, it pulls the fluid out, even though home dialysis does it too. But the hemodialysis does it and it leaves me like parched, really parched. So I just want water all day long. I just want to drink water, which is a good thing, but I have to limit my water intake as well. Because like now my legs are swollen. So I'm trying to keep my water intake down so when I go tomorrow, they can drain enough fluid off me because the problem was when I started going back to dialysis, my blood pressure, I told you guys, my blood pressure was low. So they didn't want to pull too much water off me because it would have made it even lower. And they didn't want me to pass out or nothing on the machine. So now that my blood pressure is regulated at normal, the problem is I have all this fluid on me now. So now you can't just go and say drain 6 liters of fluid off him at one time because that's dangerous. So they've been doing 3.5. But if you drain 3.5 on Monday and I come back and I put 3.5 back in, then it's defeating the purpose because we can't get anything extra. So between yesterday and today, I've really been trying to like not drink a lot of fluid so that when I go tomorrow, if when they take 3.5 off, it's getting some of the water that was already there, plus what I put back in. So hopefully I didn't do too much damage in the last 2 days. I don't think I did, but who knows, child? Who knows? It is what it is. It'll get off. It will get off. Trisha, the Crystal Light is good. I do like that too. You know what, Trisha? The only Fanta I really like, because last night when I was coming home, I was thirsty and I stopped at the store and I got a grape one. And I was just like, oh, I don't. The strawberry one is definitely sweet. I do those like every blue moon. The grape one was just not. I was like, mm-mm. I'll do a Welch's grape or a crushed grape before I'll ever do a Fanta grape again. It just wasn't. It just. It just wasn't. Put it that way. It just wasn't. The pineapple one for me is. I love it. I love the pineapple one because I like pineapple. Child, pineapple. Anything with me is good. I just love pineapple. So the Fanta pineapple is good. The Welch's pineapple is good. The crushed pineapple is good. Anything pineapple for me is a hit. Give me some pineapple now, ladies, and you got a best friend. Because I love pineapple. I love me some pineapple. And child, I will never forget my mother. She cursed me out because she brought 2 pineapples home from Hawaii when she went to Hawaii. Child, I don't know why she put them pineapples in her house. I ate both them pineapples, and when I tell you she cursed me out, oh, she cursed. I said, well, you could go to the store and buy 2 more. Go to the store. Those pineapples came from Hawaii themselves. And if you think I'm going to the store and can replace 2 Hawaiian pineapples with 2 store-bought pineapples, you have lost your mind. When I tell you my mother cursed me out, my mother cursed me out. But at the end of the day, I didn't care because them pineapples was banging, honey. Them pineapples was banging. Betty, I know those are the ones that Trimell drink, the zeros. But Trimell drink the zeros, but but Trimell like ginger ale and stuff like that anyway, so he's really not gonna have a problem with switching from dark soda because he'll drink the zero Pepsis or the zero Cokes, but he likes the zero Sprites and the zero ginger ales, so he ain't gonna have a problem. It's me. I just can't get with clear soda, or as my sister says, light skin soda. I just can't get with light skin soda. It just ain't my thing. It just ain't my thing. You know what, Betty? Probably because of the vitamin C. Trisha, peach soda is good too. Because I had a lot of peach sodas when I lived in Atlanta. And then when I moved back up north, you really can't find peach soda up here like that. But I had that peach crush. Oh, baby, that peach crush is everything. Cause I had that when I was living in Atlanta, but you really can't find peach sodas up here like you do in Atlanta. Oh yes, pineapple now laters are everything. Yeah, but the vitamin C, I know, because I know like even orange juice, you shouldn't drink orange juice with like and take your medicine because the vitamin C, and grapefruit juice too, because of the vitamin C and the acid in the grapefruit juice, it messes with your medicines. So that's probably with the pineapple the same thing because of the vitamin C in it. Because of the vitamin C in it is why it messes with your medicines and stuff. But yes, y'all, I just wanted to come and give y'all an update because y'all saw that video last night with him crying like a baby. My husband's such a baby, y'all. Him crying like a little baby, not wanting to be there and things of that nature. But oh, Trisha, let me tell you something about Uncle Honey. Uncle is the last one to talk. Cause child, if y'all took Uncle's Pepsi away from him, he'd probably never speak to y'all again and kill y'all. Cause Uncle got to have him a Pepsi every day, all day. Pepsi, he ain't got no water in his body, child. You know how the body's made up a certain percent of water? That's his child. His body's made up of that percent of Pepsi, honey. Uncle is has a Pepsi addiction. Thank you, Betty. Uncle has a Pepsi addiction. I don't think a day will go by without a Pepsi being in this house. And if there is no Pepsi, let me tell you something. Uncle will get up, I don't care what time of night it is, and go buy him a Pepsi. Not one Pepsi, but a few Pepsis to sustain him till the morning when the grocery store is open. Because Uncle ain't having it. He gonna have his Pepsi one way or another, child. And see, that's what gets me. When I want a soda, all I got to do is go downstairs and get me a Pepsi. But I don't even do that a lot because I know I ain't supposed to be having it like that. And like I said, most of the time I'm a water drinker. So even sometimes I go downstairs and say, "Oh, I'm gonna get me a soda," and then I'll run the water and be like, "Oh, that looks so good. Oh, let me just get some ice and get some water." So yes, Trisha, his all Pepsi. All when it comes to Uncle Honey, it's all Pepsi. Don't give him no Coke because he ain't gonna drink it. He ain't gonna drink it. He ain't gonna drink a Coke. He ain't gonna do it. And he know the difference. If you put a Coke in front of him and a Pepsi, and he did a taste test, he could tell you which one was the Pepsi versus the Coke. He's a Pepsi connoisseur. See, he just purchased 3 cases today. And there's already 3 cases downstairs and a case in his room. When I tell y'all, Uncle got a Pepsi addiction, so yeah. But he'll be happy because I won't be drinking. Well, for Trimell's sake, I'm gonna go on this diabetic diet with him, and we're gonna told him whenever he gets out, he haven't smoked, so we're gonna quit smoking because that's another reason why his lungs is filling up with fluid because of the cigarette smoke and being on a diet. We shouldn't be smoking no way. So I told him I'm gonna embark on this journey with him because it ain't gonna hurt me. If anything, it's gonna help me in my own process of going forward. So, you know, I'm gonna be the supportive husband. I am. Now, the one thing I can say is that Tramel cooks better no salt food than I do. I just can't do it. He does it great because when I had the stroke back in 2020, and when I came home, he cooked me salt-free food, and it was amazing. I was scared to eat it at first because I'm like, oh child, I don't want this food. If it ain't got no flavor, I don't want it because I'm very that. If my food don't have no flavor, I don't want no parts of it. And Tramel was cooking me like the best food, and it didn't have a stitch of salt in it. So he's going to have to start. Well, I'm gonna have to start watching him how he cooks no salt food because when it comes to me, honey, I'm gonna sneak a little bit of salt in it. I am. I'm gonna sneak some kind of salt, or I'll cook it without salt. But after I cook it, and when I taste it, if it ain't flavored enough for me, I'm gonna start sprinkling some salt in my food. Which right now it's not a bad thing because it's keeping my blood pressure normal. Um, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We gotta do what we gotta do to maintain. And right now, he can't do the salt thing like that because he can't hold on to he can't have the salt like that and hold on to it because he can't. It's filling him up with fluid and it's too much water retention. Tracy, trust me, we definitely are. We got it. But that's why probably my legs are swollen. Well, my legs are swollen because I'm drinking too much water and I'm not peeing it out as quick as I should. So that's why my legs are swollen. And plus the salt too on top of it. Oh, Terry, you ain't saying nothing. Child, give me my little Newport 100. I'm happy. Really, Trisha? That's what we did. We when I got out of the hospital when I had the stroke, we had just brought a bunch of the different Mrs. Dashes and he like combined them all when he cooked. And like they were so good. There's another one. There's a garlic and I know that onion and herb one is good. There's another a garlic and the garlic and herb is good. And is garlic and it's red. Like when you in the bottle, like when you look at the herbs, it's red. That one is good too. I forgot what the name of that one is, but we gonna have to go back to doing that. Um, Promises. Are you putting the Z instead of a S? Let me wait. Hold on. I'm gonna type it for you again. Post a comment. Post a comment. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. That's the email right there. I don't know why it's coming back. Brian, yeah, that's the spicy one. Promises, that's the email address. If that is coming back, add the word corner to after. So do the if that comes back, if you try it again, do the McCraeKingz corner at gmail.com because that's our email address as well. So if you do the McCraeKingz and just add the word corner behind it, now that shouldn't come back. If it's coming back, then there's something wrong with Gmail. But it's either the McCraeKingz at gmail.com or the McCraeKingz corner at gmail.com. One of those should definitely go through. Yeah, Brian, that spicy one is good too because I love spicy food. Y'all know the Jamaican in me. I love me some spicy food, y'all. Yes, I do. Y'all know the Jamaican in me. I loves me some spicy food, so I ain't gonna turn down no spicy food. I am not gonna turn down nothing spicy. Well, I appreciate y'all spending your afternoon with me. Yeah, or I just typed it like that, Reese cup, so she could see the difference and what it was. Because sometimes people get it when I just type it in all lowercase. It looks like them, CRAE Kings. Well, thank you, cousin. We love you too. And sometimes people just put Kings and they make a mistake and put the S, and that's why it'll come back too because they don't realize this is Z. So that's the only reason why I typed it out that way. You know what the patches? You know what made me mad, especially this time when I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I did not even crave a cigarette. I guess because I was in so much pain that I didn't even crave a cigarette. And even when I got out, I was just I did it just to be doing it when I should have just not did it again because anything. It was 2 weeks, and I didn't crave a cigarette. I really didn't want a cigarette. I didn't even because sometimes when I'm in the hospital, it'll get bad, and I'll be like, "Oh, give me a patch," and they'll give you a patch when you're in the hospital. So even Trimell, when he said when he was in the hospital, because he couldn't do it, so he didn't desire to do it. But as soon as I picked him up and got in the car, he was like, "Babe, where's the cigarettes?" And I was like, "Right there." And he did the same thing I did when I got in the car. So, you know, you know what, Trace Terry, the patches work for me if I work them. They do because, like I told Trimell, really, it's habit. Is it's not that you really. It's because no, not for me. It didn't, Terry. They work because you're not supposed to smoke when wearing them. You know what? The patches work for me because I realized that a lot of my cigarette smoking is when I do stuff. So, like when I'm talking on the phone, the first thing I'll do is light up a cigarette. When I get in the car, the first thing I do is light up a cigarette. When I can break those habits, I'm good. And like when I quit smoking for like, oh my God, it was like 2 years. It was the habits that I had to break of when I lit a cigarette. Like after I ate, I had to not light a cigarette right directly after I ate. And even now that I've been in the hospital, like I'll eat and I don't even honestly, if it's not for Trimell lighting a cigarette, sometimes I don't even think about it because I'm that 2 weeks of not being able to smoke really like put me in a headspace of I don't have to do this. So honestly, now I'm just doing it to be doing it, not because I want to do it, but just to be doing it to be doing it. Oh, trust me, I'm not. Right. When you can't get them or you just feel bad, like when I was in the hospital, oh my God, I didn't even think about a cigarette. That was the last thing on my mind. It was like, child, just make me feel better because this pain is more important than this damn cigarette. Yes, Terry, that's the same thing. Get your cup of coffee and a cigarette. Right. That's the hardest part, Reese Cup, is the mental part. If you can get past the mental part, then you good. If you could get past the mental part of it, then you good. Ooh. But if you can't get past the mental part, that's when you have a problem. Oh no, see, Terry, I gotta light up. I gotta light up and then get me a cup of coffee. Get me a cup of coffee and then my cigarette, child. Yes, that's the best thing in the morning. A cup of coffee and cigarette. And now, you know what? I even kind of gave up the coffee thing because the coffee just, I don't know. I kind of gave up the coffee thing. Trimell, he ain't giving up his coffee. His coffee is his coffee. But Trisha said, lock me up so I could quit. Yes, give me a Newport 100 and I'm happy. Or sometimes, like when I'm real stressed out or I'm hype or whatever, the cigarette do calm me down. I ain't gonna lie. Right, Uncle Fred? Because you'll put down the cigarettes and then start eating. See, that's what Tramell's doing. Child, they brought him this lunch today, and well, he ate everything. I mean, he cleaned the plate. I was like, "Oh, you was a little hungry," but he didn't really eat nothing yesterday. And then last night they only gave him this little dry ass cheese and turkey sandwich. So I knew he was hungry. So when he didn't tell me to bring him no food or nothing, I was shocked. So he was like, "No, it's lunchtime. They bring in my lunch, and it's supposed to be a good lunch." He ate everything. He ate every green bean, every piece of meat, every piece of potato. He ate all the soup, whatever they brought him. He ate it all. He ate the slice of bread they gave him with it, and then he looked at it. He called the nurse in the room and said, "Is it possible I could get a sandwich and some soup?" She looked at him like he was crazy. She said, "Did you eat your lunch?" And she picked up the top. He said, "Yeah, but I'm still hungry." I said, "He didn't eat yesterday, so he hungry." So they brought him a sandwich and some soup. Child, he ate that sandwich and soup and said, "Okay, now I'm full." He said, "See, this what happens when I can't smoke a cigarette." I said, "I know. I know when Tramell is hungry. Tramell, if he's hungry, he will sit here and he will smoke, chain smoke." And I'd be like, "Babe, you hungry?" "No." I say, "Yes, you are." He's like, "No, I'm not hungry." I say, "Yes, you are hungry because you chain smoking. You're not a chain smoker." You know what, Reese Cup? My mother had seen this thing on Montel Williams, and I didn't see it. And she told me, she said, "Call this number. They're going to be in Maryland." It was when I was living in Maryland. She was like, "They're going to be in Maryland, and I want you to try it because I don't know, my spirit is telling me that it's going to work for you." So I called and I told, the people that I said, "Okay, well, I'll call you guys back and make an appointment." And they was like, "Oh, hurry up because we get booked really quick." I said, "No, no, no, I'm going to call you back." So I called my mother. I said, "Mom, who did you have me call?" I said, "They want $330. I don't have $330. She said, "Are you going to go? Are you going to try?" I said, "If I had $330. She said, "All right." So she said, call back. And I said, what? She said, call with me on the phone. So I called to her on the phone and she paid with it with her credit card. So I showed up and I end up at some hotel. I'm like, a hotel? And I went in this woman's hotel room and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Somebody broke my laptop while I was on the plane. That's why there's a crack in it. I want you to watch this video. So I watched the video. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, my mother just wasted $330. But I'm like, she saw what they was doing on Montel. So, you know, clearly she knew what was going to happen. So this woman sat there and gave me this cute little pair of shades, honey. And she had this little like pointer pen and it was a little laser. And she put this little laser on my head and on my nose and like she was going around certain places on my head and my nose and then she did my hands and she walked me back to my car and she said, do you have cigarettes? And I was pissed because I had just brought a pack of cigarettes. She took my pack of cigarettes. I said, yeah. She took my pack of cigarettes and crushed them and threw them in the garbage and said, congratulations on being a non-smoker. And she told me, she said, don't ever pick up a cigarette and think that you can have just one because that one will lead to more. As long as you don't smoke, you'll be fine. So I'm sitting there, like in my mind, going, my mother just wasted her money. This is a whole scam. I was like, but she saw it on my tail, so she knew what they was going to do. So whatever. So I'm driving home and it hit me. I was like, I don't want to smoke. And then the person either in the car in front of me or behind me was smoking. And I could smell it. And it was really stunk to me. And I was like, this is weird. Like whatever she did instantly took effect. Like the smell of cigarette smoke was disgusting to me. I got home, I had to wash my comforter. I had to take my curtains down and wash them because the smell of cigarette was just like everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, what did this woman do to me? She's a witch doctor. Because it was crazy. It was crazy how fast, wherever she put that laser on me, it worked. And I'm telling y'all, for like 2 to 3 years after that, I never smoked a cigarette at all. What caused me to smoke was when my mother passed, and on my 40th birthday, I had a party. And of course, there was people there that was smoking, and I was like, "Give me a cigarette," and they was like, "No, because you don't need to smoke." And I was like, "No, I need a cigarette." I said, I said, "This is too much for me." I said, "This is all my mother talked about was her baby turning 40." I was like, "If she's not here to see it," and they was like, "No, I'm not." I said, "If y'all don't give me a cigarette, I'm gonna go buy a pack." So of course they gave me a cigarette, and that was it. It didn't start up immediately, but little by little, I started. Ooh, could I have a cigarette? Ooh, could I have a cigarette? Ooh, and then I got tired of bumming cigarettes because that ain't my thing. Either I got it, promises, I got it. I I'm not one to bum cigarettes, so I just went and brought my own cigarettes. Promises, I got it. I just saw it come through on my phone. I got it. I don't know which email it went to, but I know I got it because both emails are in my phone, so I did get it this time. No, I like licorice. I even I even eat black jelly beans. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I eat corn candy and black jelly beans. I'm one of those people. Child, Trisha. No, it's funny because I looked at his menu and I said, "Oh, babe, they you got pot roast." I was looking at Wednesday's menu, not Tuesday's menu, and I said, "Oh, they gonna give you some pot roast." And he started laughing. I was like, "Child, you and that damn pot roast." Okay, it came to both. I got both of them. I got both of them. Brian, mind your business. Mind your business. See, that's why I tell you I don't like Taurus people. Mind your business. Mind your business. Oh, yo. Oh, this is a journey. We came back to Jersey and, well, we had to get it together. I'd rather be going through this in Jersey than going through this in Rome. I ain't even gonna lie. I'd rather be going through this in Jersey than going through this in Rome because trust me, in Rome, they probably would have sent Trimell to Syracuse Hospital, which would have been a 45-minute drive like they used to do me, and send me to Syracuse because the little town we lived in could never handle nothing. It was like they only handled scraped and bruises. They didn't handle nothing major. And it was, they always send you to Syracuse to the bigger hospitals. So this is definitely better than being in Rome, and going through this. So I'm glad we came back to Jersey, and I guess I'm glad it happened while we were in Jersey, as opposed to being in Rome. Because, like I said, they probably would have sent him to Syracuse, and then he would have been mad because he really would have been far away. And like they did me when they sent me to Syracuse. And then he had to drive 45 minutes just to come see me. And that was a lot. So I would tell him not to come every day because that's just too much of a drive for one person every day. That's way too much. So I am glad. I am glad. But Trisha, Twizzlers count as licorice. Oh, cherry jelly beans. I love them when Easter time come. Oh, I love it because I could just buy up some jelly beans. Only jelly beans I don't like are spiced jelly beans. Those are so nasty to me. Them spiced jelly beans are nasty to me, but any other jelly bean is good, especially Jelly Belly jelly beans. Oh, those are so good. Reese cup, why not Twizzlers? I love me some Twizzlers. And you know what? Now that you said that, no, Trisha, stop. No, no, no. No, you know what? Now that you said that, yes, Jelly Belly, I love them. They just too damn expensive. But you know what, Reese Cup? Now that you said that, Twizzlers, because you know what? As long as I have something in my hand at the time of doing quitting smoking, because see, what I did the first time, well, when she did it, I didn't even need nothing. It was just a desire that just literally dissipated. But when I tried again, when I started and I tried again to quit, I um I used lollipops, and that worked because it was still something in my hand after I ate or when I got in the car or things like that. But now that you said Twizzlers, I love Twizzlers, so that will work because I can just put here. You said while you sit there smoking a cigarette, you a mess. I see stuff that happens, and that's what us smokers that quit have to stop doing, quitting and letting things make us start again. That's what happens. Something major will happen, and we'll be like, "Oh, I need a cigarette," and you really don't, because you done went this long without one, and you really don't. Really, Trisha, you think that tastes like bananas? I love them. I don't eat them a lot. I eat them very sporadically. Like I'll see them in the store and be like, "Ooh, I want to buy these Twizzlers." I'm not like a person that has to have Twizzlers all the time, but every now and then I'll get some Twizzlers. And most of the time, child, I open them and eat them for like a day or two, and the next thing you know, when I go back to get another one, it's hard as a rock because they done been sitting in the open bag, and I ain't messed with them for like a week or two. But yeah, it is good. I'm gonna cook me some dinner. I'm probably gonna fry me up these chicken wings I took out to cook yesterday and never cooked them. I'll probably go downstairs and drink one of these protein drinks they give me because I've been lacking. I ain't been drinking them the way I'm supposed to be drinking them. So I'll probably drink me one of these protein drinks and sit there for a minute. And all right, promises. And thank you so much for sending me that stuff. Terry, how can you not? I love anything gummy candies. Like, oh, I love anything gummy. Give me anything chewy and gummy. I love it. I love it. Brian, it is not that. It's called oh God, I can't think of the name of it, but it's just specifically for people on dialysis because it doesn't have all the milk and the vitamins and things. Because too many, like zinc and stuff, I can't do a lot of zinc. I can't do a lot of the vitamins that are in normal protein drinks. Oh, Brian, I cannot think of the name of it, but it's not that. It's one just specifically for dialysis patients. And my cousin had brought some for her mom, but she ended up giving them to me, and I was like, "Oh, girl, thank you," because these things are expensive. They are really expensive to buy. But when I go to dialysis, because it's part of my dialysis treatment, they give me one every day I go. So I have the ones my cousin gave me, and I have the ones they give me like once a week. Well, once every time I go, one Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I just come home because they hot and they're nasty drinking them hot. So I come home and put them in the fridge, and they all in the damn fridge. I don't ever drink them. So I gotta drink them because my protein level is real low. So it's either that or start eating at least hard boiled eggs or more chicken or more fish. Because as big as I am, they say I don't eat enough. Go figure. So, well, I don't eat enough protein. So, you know what? I'm not a banana person either, Terry. I'll eat it, but that's another thing I can't eat being on dialysis because of the potassium. So, bananas ain't even an option. But when I could eat bananas, I didn't have a problem with eating them. For me, bananas was only good. Like I would get urges to just buy some regular cornflakes and cut me up some bananas in them and put some sugar in them. To me, that's when bananas is good, good. But just to sit and eat a banana, nah. Mm-mm. Just to sit and look at a banana and go, "Ooh, I want to eat that." No, that ain't my thing. Oh, see, Terry, I can never make you a peach cobbler then. Everybody say my peach cobbler is banging, but I can't make you a peach cobbler because you don't like cooked peaches. And you know what? And as much as I love pineapple, I really am not a fan of cooked pineapples. Like, don't give me a pineapple on a ham because I'm not gonna eat it. I like pineapple upside down cake, but I can only eat it a little bit at a time because again, I'm not a fan of cooked pineapples. Hey, Monica. You know what? I keep seeing people say eggs are expensive, but up here in Jersey, I could still get eggs for like $1 and change. So eggs haven't really looked that expensive to me up here. Everything else, yes, but eggs seem to still be decent, decently priced. Really, Betty? I just can't. Ooh, I can't do bananas like that. I don't find bananas sweet, Trisha. It's the texture for me. It's too mushy. Like I don't. I'm not a. I can't do too mushy. Like mashed potatoes and oatmeal, and that's why I don't like grits. Cause I don't like mushy. That texture is too much for me. Like sweet potato pie and stuff like that. I can't do it. It's just too ugh. It's too mushy. He good, Monica. He back in the hospital. He back in the hospital. He don't want to be there, but he ain't got no choice. I don't like. Oh, I don't like mushy. I don't do grits. I eat mashed potatoes now because as an adult I learned to keep them down, but as a kid I would throw them right back up. My grandmother used to try to force me to eat mashed potatoes because she thought I was playing, or she thought, as a kid I'm telling her what I'm not going to eat, and it wasn't that. It was that I couldn't do it, and she would force me to eat mashed potatoes, child, and I would throw it up. And then like people were like, "Oh, taste this sweet potato pie. I can make sweet potato pie." And I'm like, "Y'all don't understand. It ain't about that. It's that the texture is just too much for me. I can't. Like I just can't. Like I could taste it, and that's it. So for me to sit there and continually eat it, that ain't gonna happen. Grits, hell no, that ain't happening. Cream of wheat, not gonna happen. Um, Yogurt and oatmeal. As an adult, I've learned to keep that down, but even that has to be flavored. Like you can't just give me plain yogurt because that ain't gonna work. Like when I was in the hospital, they gave me Chobani vanilla flavored yogurt, and I was like, "Ooh, let me try to eat this." And I tried, and it was good. And they gave me some Jello, so I said, "Oh, wait a minute. If I mix this with the Jello, if I eat the Jello with this, it might like be like whipped cream on the Jello, because it was vanilla flavored yogurt and it was good." And I was like, okay, or like parfaits. I could do parfaits with the granola in it and stuff like that. Hey, Calvin, I can do the parfaits and stuff like that, but I just, Uncle, I still don't know to this day why you will not eat an oxtail because it is amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have that problem because, child, give me some oxtails any day. I'm dying for some oxtails to tell y'all the truth, but they are too expensive to buy in the store. So I'm going to have to find me, well, I know where some Jamaican restaurants are or some Dominican restaurants because it's cheaper to buy them already cooked now than it is to buy them in the damn store. Oh, Trisha, I can't. Mashed potato. Trimell absolutely loves mashed potatoes. And every time he's like, "Oh, babe, let's make some." And then sometimes he makes the mashed potatoes with the skin on the potatoes. Oh, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Even a baked potato. Because Trimell will go in the store and get those big russet potatoes and want to bake them and then fill them with sour cream and the green onions and the bacon and cheese. And I'm like, okay, but I can't. Like, he'll take his potato and like he'll split it down the middle and then he'll start mushing it up. I can't do that because that's too much for me. I have to just like take my fork and break the potato a little bit so that it's still kind of whole and then eat it like that because I just I don't know what it is about mushy, hot, mushy things. I can't. Cold, mushy things, I can do. You give me some ice cream or something cold. Like, see, like yogurt is good because it's cold. But if it was hot, ugh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Oh, Betty, yes, give me some neck bones. Yes. I'm southern when it comes to stuff like that. Give me some neck bones and some ham hocks. Monica owe me some hog maws because I be seeing her do it. I watch Lips, and Lips be eating pigtails and pig feet and pig ears, and I'm like, oh, I want to taste all of that because I'm good with trying stuff. And then if I just don't like it, I just don't like it. But I'm one to try it just to see what it tastes like before I say I don't like it. Yeah, Trisha, they are cheaper in restaurants now. Cause now, child, you try to buy some oxtails, they be talking about $50 and $60. Child, ain't nobody paying no $50 and $60 for no damn oxtails. Hell, I could go to the Jamaican restaurant and get a whole oxtail dinner for what, $20 if that. Cause they even raised the prices, but still, I'd rather pay $20 for a whole meal than $50 for five little oxtails. Yes, Betty, they are so, especially now. Trisha, I can cook me some soul food, child. And I can do the Jamaican food too. And trust me, I can curry me up some goat. I can make me some jerk fish and pork and chicken. I can do all of that. I can definitely do all of that. Yes, some neck bones and some ham hocks and yes, put some ham hocks and some black eyed peas and cook them in the crock pot. Yes, Jesus. Y'all ain't said nothing but a word. Y'all ain't said nothing but a word. Well, y'all, let me get off this live and go cook me some food, fry these chicken wings, and figure out what I'm gonna make with them. And y'all, that is the update on my husband. I know it's an update, but we done talked about a whole bunch of stuff other than this update on Mr. Man. But y'all continue to pray for him, pray his strength, pray his guidance, pray that he'll make the right decision, what's best for him, whatever that may be. And again, I thank you all for all the love you show us and all the prayers that you send our way when we need them the most. We really, really, really appreciate you guys. And we really thank you. We really, really do. Oh, Terry, I love curry. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But yes, y'all, we really appreciate you guys. And thank you again for all that you guys do, whether it be coming to a live, whether it be supporting the channel. We appreciate you guys in every way, form, and fashion. We really do. And please make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. You know what they are: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, right here on YouTube. Make sure, if you don't already, hit that subscribe button because it's free. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you know when me and Trimell drop a new video. And remember, we are still on hiatus, although, like I said, you've been seeing us every other day. We're still on hiatus till July 1st when we come back full force with our new fifth season of the TheMcRaeKingz with brand new content, brand new everything for you guys to look forward to enjoy. And if you want to become a member of our channel, just hit that join button. If you don't see that join button, the link is in the description box. Because in 2022, July 1st, membership will have its privileges. So definitely become a lord or a lady and enjoy the membership privileges. Also, check out the TheMcRaeKingz boutique for everything TheMcRaeKingz and Dare to Be Different. We are going to revamp the store soon, so look out for that. And you guys, thank you for praying for my husband. Continue to pray for him, pray his strength, and that, the pills and things they're going to give him work for as long as they can to keep him off dialysis. And with that being said, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your day. If nobody told you today they love you, know that Trimell and I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Also, remember, always walk in love, peace, sunshine, and happiness. And always remember, it's what? It's Team McCrae all damn day. Later, y'all. And thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.